Good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get the September full commission meeting started. I'm going to ask that our secretary, Joe Argero, do a roll call.
Okay. Chair White,
Here.
Vice Chair Montana,
Present.
Secretary Arders present, and then moving from Commissioner Fagan around the table. Commissioner Fagan.
Here.
Commissioner Carr.
Here.
Commissioner Barkus.
Here.
Commissioner Kepler.
Yes.
Commissioner Mateen.
Yep.
Welcome, by the way. Commissioner Hamid.
Here.
Commissioner Maddox.
Here.
And Commissioner Bates.
Here.
Absent are Treasurer Smith and Commissioners McKee and Howard, quorum met 11 of 14.
Okay, also moving on to approval of the meeting minutes from July. Do you have a second?
Second.
Are there any changes or discussions? Joe, did you receive any changes?
We have one edit from, it was a name typo in the July minutes, which I changed and sent back out today. And otherwise I didn't hear anything.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the July meeting minutes, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? Meeting minutes pass. All right, moving on to the September agenda. Is there any corrections, deletions for the September meeting agenda? Seeing none, I'd like to get a motion to approve the September meeting agenda.
All motion.
Motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Agenda approved. All right, moving on to City of Columbus staff reports. I don't see Officer Brophy, or Cody, I do see Officer Flake. Oh, he's back there in the back. Hey, sorry, I missed you. I see you walking in. All right, do you want to come up and give us a little brief update of what's going on? Is there a mic up there?
There's not, I'm loud enough though. Sometimes you give me a mic, I get too loud.
May not be loud enough for the live stream.
Oh.
She wants you to use the mic.
Yeah. I can use my- I hate hearing myself.
You have to turn it on
Other
first.
side. Other side, I'm just. Okay,
I'm gonna get you. Dealing with the camp at Great Western, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. It's on private property, it's on their property. I went back there anywhere from maybe 30 to 45 people. I don't have a date for the remediation. The owner is going forward with getting it cleaned up, trying to get them resources out there. And but if they, which they usually don't take our resources, there's gonna probably be a fallout where you'll see a lot of these people try and settle someplace else, because that's what they have to do. So I don't have a date on that yet, but I've made myself available with some other CLOs when they go to clean it up. Sounds like he's also gonna try and clear cut the area to see if they can keep them from coming back. When I first started this job, that was a huge issue when I went back there, and I was just amazed with how many camps were back there and just like needles everywhere. So kind of that's my big project that I'm dealing with right now.
Does anybody have any questions for Officer Cody? Comments, concern?
Oh, and I do want to thank Pastor Orr. He pointed out to me that we're doing a groundbreaking on the new sub for the 19 precinct substation, which we were laughing when we thought with the Easton substation, they think that they were pretty excited about that. That might get finished before 19, but hopefully we finally do get a new substation on the hilltop, which would be cool. And I might reach out to you guys to advocate for me to keep my office so nobody steals it.
What was that groundbreaking gonna be?
It should be Tuesday.
All of these with the assist, so.
Yeah, September 9th. Stay tuned for more information.
Yeah, so September 9th, stay tuned for more information, she said. So anybody got anything else?
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming out.
Awesome, thank you.
Up next, I'm gonna introduce Officer Ortega.
Your findings.
Hey, y'all doing?
Good, right?
Press the word. I got it. We're fine. I did. I think you spit okay. I am Officer Ortega. I'm with the Columbus Police Dialogue Team. A little bit about myself. I've been an officer about 5 years. I lived the last 30+ here in Columbus. I graduated from Whetstone High School. The last 2.5 years, I worked in special duty at the Holy Family Soup Kitchen. I did my community immersion project here, A precinct. And one of the things I really appreciate about this area and being around here is the pride that you guys have here. I see it on the properties and owners and just people in the community. So there's a really strong West Side pride. I love it. What I do with First Amendment activities, in Columbus, we have a lot of passion. It's a very international city. It's amazing how an event in Venezuela last summer can affect have 300 people protesting their election here in Columbus. It shows a lot about what we have going on, plus a lot of other things. I just came from one action, straight here, and I just got word that there was gonna be another one pretty soon, a couple days, so. But what we found out is we're going out and helping, protect this First Amendment right that people have in the community, is that there's a lot of misinformation. And we have, like, take immigration right now, like ICE. We have people at these protests saying they had friends afraid to show up because they were gonna get arrested. So a lot of what we do, we was so critical is getting to meet community leaders, pastors, churches, mosques, temples, also other community leaders, so we can inform. And also you guys know the temperature of your communities and what things are important. And so that's what I want to learn on, also that you know, if there's a time or a place where that passion is bubbling up and they want to speak out, I'm here. I'm here to protect that right. That's what our Columbus Police Dialogue Team does. And also doing so, what I've seen is that I've seen a lot of needs in some places, and I've seen also people that have resources and been able to connect a lot of that. And so I've been to a lot of resource fairs, and I gotta tell people, hey, there's a soup kitchen over there that serves 200 to 300 people every day, Monday through Friday. If you have resources, show up there. Or other examples throughout my 2 years in this dialogue job. So as things come up, if there's anything I can help with, or anything I can educate to, or speak in the community, or anything I can help, I would be more than happy to do that. So you'll see me around. We wear those blue Amazon type vests. If you guys have ever gone to any First Amendment actions, or maybe you just look up Columbus Police Dialogue Team, you really scroll down about 9 times, you might see a picture of me wearing one somewhere. But again, if I did give you a card, I'll give you one. I think I gave most of you guys one. I'll make sure that I'll put a couple extra here. So if you guys want to take a picture, you have one card.
Awesome, thanks. Does any commissioners have any questions? Thank you so much for coming out today. I really appreciate it. Next, we're gonna call Jocelyn Martin Cortez, City of Columbus Division of Community Engagement.
Hello. Hi. What's up, everyone? Long time no see. My name is Jocelyn. I, as mentioned, work for Columbus City Council on the community engagement team. I'll just go straight into it. Council has been on recess for the month of August. We're back in the full swing of things come this upcoming Monday, September 8th. For this upcoming agenda, we do have mentions of both Hilltop Rise and some youth programming happening in the Hilltop area. I would also encourage everyone to please follow our social media. There's some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline, and our social media is the best way to find out what fun stuff is coming up. I want to shout out Latino Heritage Month events. So Latino Heritage Month is put on by a committee, but it is of course backed by Councilmember Barroso de Padilla's office, as well as other council members' offices. The illumination is September 8th after our council meeting at 7 p.m. That's at City Hall. You can sign up on Eventbrite, or you can just roll up, there'll be music, there'll be food, it'll be good times. We're recognizing 3 padrinos and madrinas this time, which is just 3 extraordinary leaders here in Central Columbus that are Latinos. Then the parade is going to be September 13th. That's a Saturday at 11 a.m. that is also in downtown, but you know, not too far away. It's always a great time and the parade does its little routes and then it ends at City Hall on the plaza and is lovingly named La Placita for that evening. And then there's just like a party that goes on. Some community members have in the past have brought like horses, mariachis have shown up. It's really a great time and you know, a great time to experience another culture. And then lastly, October 4th is the Feria. This used to be called just the Latino Heritage Month Art Show. This year it's been renamed to the Feria. My pitch for this isn't like actually officially what they wrote down for me to say, but it's more of like an immersive event where you can go, it's gonna be at Block Forts. You can go with your friends, with your family, and immerse yourself in the Latino culture. The vibe is that we're trying to create like the feeling of you like stepping into the center of a town, like a Latin American town. So there's gonna be music, food, of course, tons and tons of art. Our artist of the year will have his own art showing in the basement of Block 4, but then the main level of Block 4 will have tons of other local Latino art. And then we also hope to have, of course, Latino vendors, Latino music. We hope to have tons of Latin American games. And hopefully, you know, comedian, coffee, just the whole thing. It's a very fun, immersive activity that their team is hoping to put together. Again, that's October 4th, I believe, from 2 to 8. There are multiple blood drives going on around the city for Sickle Cell Awareness Month. And then lastly, I wanted to note that ADU accessory dwelling units, the legislation for that is currently in the public comment period through October 25th. So if anyone has any public comments that they would like to give about ADUs, I would definitely recommend that you do so. They plan to have a hearing about it in a few weeks. Like I said, feel free and please do follow our social media for the updates on the time and the place. And that's all I got. Any questions? Anything I can help with?
Yeah, so for the ADU public comment, is the commission allowed to provide like a statement from the area commission from like one of our subcommittees?
I believe so, as long as it's approved, like as long as it's voted on, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd just like to refer that to Planning and Economic Development Committee. I know Dan's not here, but I know we've had zoning applications that not pass. As it relates to ADUs, people converting garages. I'm all in support of it, but I think a better statement from the commission, whether we do fully support it or not here in our own backyard is gonna weigh a little heavy on that legislation as it moves forward.
Yeah, I definitely support the commission making whatever statement I feel.
Awesome. Any other questions from the commissioners? Other commissioners? Anybody from the audience? Awesome. Well, appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Up next, we got our West Side Neighborhood Liaison, OBC Eddie.
Good evening, commissioners. I don't have any updates for you, so I cede my time.
Up next, I'm gonna ask Kevin Orr from Hilltop Rise if he's got any updates.
Hi, I'm Pastor Kevin Orr of the Hilltop Parish United Methodist Churches. I'm also the co-convener of the Envision Hilltop Advisory Team. I just have one thing I want to share with you all is that our next advisory team meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, September the 24th from 5:30 to 7:30. It's going to be at the Mid-Ohio Farm on the hilltop. And this is an opportunity for the whole community to come out. So if you want to hear updates on what's going on with the Envision Hilltop plan, this is a great opportunity to do it. For those of you that are not familiar with what it is, the Envision Hilltop plan is a community informed plan that was facilitated by the Department of Neighborhoods a few years ago. It includes a number of goals that were established by community members with benchmarks and we have, if you go on the website, envisionhilltop.com, you can read through the plan. You can also click a tab where it takes you to an update. So you can see where we are in achieving the goals that were set. And so it's a very helpful tool. Again, to reiterate that the plan is really driving a lot of change here on the hilltop. Officer Cody mentioned the substation that was partly facilitated, leveraged through the Envision Hilltop plan for it to happen. So it's a great resource. We'd love for you to get to find out more about it and get involved. So I have any questions?
What was the date and time on that?
It is Wednesday, September the 24th, 5:30 PM at the Mid-Ohio Farm there on Wheeland.
Any other commissioner questions? Anyone from the audience? Awesome, thanks so much. All right, next we have announcements. We had several people reach out to me regarding the election this November, so if I don't call your name, please just wait till the end. But I did hear back from the Miss Mason for Columbus City School Board of Election. She here, do you want to quickly just step up to the mic, introduce yourself, do a little speech?
Can everyone hear me? All right, perfect. Got on the first try. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly Mason. I am running for Columbus City School Board of Education. I know a lot of people do not know that there's election going on this year, so it's very much important because we know local elections matter. At the end of the day, I am a proud graduate of Franklin Heights High School. Have lots of family on this side of town, so I live on the south side of Columbus at this particular moment. So understanding what we need from a school board perspective, being able to have individuals who want to be part of the community. I like to say this summer I've been on tour between all of the area commissioners, just listening to what the community really wants in their backyard. So I like to say I started off this primary as number 16. I made top 6 as a grassroots candidate and hoping to make it to top 3 this November. The next election is November 4th. Early voting does start October 7th. I would like to say I leave you with some information, but I ran out of flyers at the last community event. So a good problem to have, but I like to say Kimberly Mason, if you Google me, I have a website. You can find me on social media. Love the opportunity to continue the conversation. I remember when the Columbus Clippers was on this side of town. So I understand what economic development, having strong communities, having a good pipeline looks like. And I'm hoping that as a school board member, I can help bring that back. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Then is there a Mr. Mountain from Westgate Community Rec Center? No, okay. And then Denyor Lynch, Columbus City School Board of Election. No, okay, and then was there anybody else announcements from the community that would like to speak? Moving right along, next month we will be hearing a presentation from Columbus City, City of Columbus regarding their lead pipe replacement program. Please keep a lookout for some marketing material that we're going to be posting, hopefully by the end of this week, next week. It's for residents, all within the city of Columbus that do have lead pipes. There's going to be a replacement program that the city is going to be operating. And then moving on to report of officers, I'm going to start first as chairperson. Oh, sorry. Does any city commissioners have any announcements? Commissioner Archibald.
Check. Thank you, Chair. I have 3 quick items. First off, for people interested in hearing from candidates for both District 7 and the 3 open school board seats, the Columbus Stand Up, which is a community organization, is hosting a youth-led candidate debate, again, for District 7 and the 3 open seats on Sunday, September 7th, coming up this weekend, 2 p.m. at Fort Hays Education Center, doors at 2. The program starts at 2:30. It is free and open to the public. I'm pretty sure you could walk up, but there is an event, right? I found it by searching Columbus Stand Up Candidate Debate 2025, and that took me directly to the website. Secondly, the Highland Youth Garden is starting their Fall Garden Club. Registration is open at highlandyouthgarden.org. It is a free after-school club for students in grades K through 6. And it occurs either Tuesdays or Wednesdays from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. After school program in the garden from September 9th to November 19th. And you're all probably aware of this, but just to make the announcement public, there's a change to some, sounds like half of Columbus Refuge collection schedule. columbus.org/trash to see if your dates and times have changed. And if you have issues, the quickest way to get that recorded is 311. You can also contact me or any commissioner at ghacjoe@gmail.com. Thank you.
Any other commissioners with announcements?
Color might change too. For the trash recycle, the color may change.
The color, yeah, your color and your route and the time and the day
Yeah.
that change.
I just learned that too, so.
I think today was like the first official day that they're changing.
Correct, correct.
Any other announcements from commissioners? Any announcements from anybody in the audience? All right, moving on to reports of officers. I'll go first. Like Officer Cody mentioned and Old DC, the dedication ceremony for the new police or the groundbreaking ceremony for the new police substation is next Tuesday. I have been asked to attend and speak on behalf of the commission as well as myself, because I was the one that introduced the community back when the city first made the announcement almost 4 years ago at the old police substation. So please be on the lookout for more information to be coming from the city regarding the police substation. Then Commissioner Montana, do you have any report from SFM?
Nope.
All right, Secretary Joe Argero.
Check. Thank you. We have, as secretary, I keep attendance, and I'm just gonna start being more deliberate about actually mentioning it while we're here, as opposed to email record. In addition to that, right now I have one recorded absence for 4 commissioners. They have all generally been announced, but we don't have an excusal process. But Commissioner Bates, Kepler, Amin, and Barkus are all recorded right now with 1. If you disagree with that over the last 11 meetings, let me know and we can double check. But I don't currently have any commissioners with more than 1 absence all the way back to September 24th for all the sitting commissioners. And then I'm gonna put a plug in for 2026 officers. If anyone would like, any commissioner would like to serve as secretary, you would have my support also in the process, because actually, as a huge asset, we take notes together effectively. If anybody is interested in that, it's a way to help serve commission. You just work behind the scenes to get the minutes ready. I'd be happy to talk with you more about that. That's it.
Awesome, thanks so much. And then our treasurer is absent, so moving on to committee reports. We're gonna go ahead and turn it over to Commissioner Bates for zoning.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The zoning committee met last week. We reviewed 4 applications and also had a brief conversation about the zone in Columbus. I encourage folks to continue to follow zone in Columbus as they're looking at many properties during the second phase of zone in, particularly a lot of areas that are currently zoned for manufacturing. So think of areas up along 70, kind of, well, really stretching around the outer belt, and other random properties that you might not be aware of are zone manufacturing, and looking at how to rezone these properties. What could we see developed in those areas? There is a community input forum over at West High School back in July that I know some folks went to. Sounded like it was well attended, a lot of good conversation. I was on vacation that week and unable to make it. But they're holding more forums about that. If you have thoughts or questions, please reach out to me or other members of the zoning committee to discuss the zone-in process and ways to plug in and opportunities to provide feedback, because I do believe there's a lot of opportunity to not just respond to what is out there, but really think about what is the type of community that we want to live in. As we think about walkable neighborhoods, how much density do we want? Where should there be grocery stores versus, building bowling alleys in the duplex, the other side of your duplex? Is that what you want? Is it not what you want? I think I'd love to have a bowling alley operating at 3 a.m. next door to me. Would that be fun? No, maybe not. We also had an application where we had over a dozen neighbors come out and speak. expressing concerns about, application CV 25-054, 1100 Georgesville Green Drive. That application will not be appearing before us tonight. Instead, that application has been re-referred to our zoning committee for more conversation, specifically looking at trying to get more information and assessment around traffic issues. So if anybody was concerned about that property tonight, we will not be voting on it. We will not be hearing that application. But we'll be continuing work as a committee, working with the property owners and community groups over the next few weeks to try to build collaboration and consensus about what is best for that neighborhood down there off the Hall Road. Alrighty, we have 3 applications this evening, to come before us, and let me see, did you put them in an order?
Yeah, or I could read them to you. To read.
There it is. All right, our first application up tonight for full commission approval and discussion is GC 25-030 for 2725 West Broad Street. Come on forward, introduce yourself to the group and.
That's the last.
Yeah, it helps with the Zoom.
Hi, my name is Lori Williams. I work for C&B Sign Services, who works for Beck Oil Company. We are currently trying to get a new image up for Sunoco so they can sign their contract for the next 12 or so years. However, we've got to reimage this street sign, which has been hit by a vehicle. Somehow the top of the sign's been damaged. The sign is now legally non-conforming, and I believe it's the correct terminology. To get it into code, we'd have to move it back about 15 feet to the required setback, which they're not interested in doing. So we just propose to remove the street sign altogether, place canopy prisers on the canopy. So we are looking for 2 canopy prisers at 22.5 square foot that will display 18-inch red LED fuel prices that will be a changeable copy.
You just say the size one more time.
It is gonna be 22.5 square feet. So there'll be 2 of them, one on each elevation facing the road, each roadway. And we will be removing that street sign and the pricer there, so that pricer won't be visible.
The commission or the committee did not have any community members show up to voice opposition or concern about this proposal. And after conversation, the committee did vote 4-0 in support of this graphic variance request. Do the commissioners have any questions?
This isn't. Not so much a question, but I believe this is like your 3rd attempt at the canopy sign,
Okay, so
or not you specifically, but that.
Not-
The
not-
owner has done this, like, this is the
I
3rd.
think that in the past, they have submitted requests, have ultimately, my discussion with Jamie Freeze is that all the applications have been withdrawn.
Okay.
That they have not proceeded with any variances, and not been granted any variances, so I'm not sure what the reason is behind that, but, as far as I know, in my conversation with Jamie, everything's been drawn until this point.
Commissioner Carr?
I have a quick question. I know it's not been very long since we had last, maybe, what was it, a week? But will you be able to still talk to them about that one light?
I will.
Okay, thank you.
And Commissioner Carr is referring to a light that appears to shine into the traffic on Broad Street. There on right on the edge of the property that is going to be adjusted so that it shines into the parking lot and not into traffic. Which we discussed during our meeting. Are there any questions or comments from community members? Seeing none, I'd like to motion that we approve GC 25-030.
Second.
We're saying GC, because it's a graphics service.
Yes.
Okay, I think it was. B.
Sorry.
Okay, we will start the roll, starting with, Chair Bates, how do you
Yes.
vote? Going myself next, yes. To Commissioner Montana,
Yes.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yes.
Commissioner Amin.
Yeah.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, I need to remember your name, just
Between.
Mateen, Commissioner Mateen.
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Kepler.
Yeah.
Commissioner Barkus.
Yes.
Commissioner Carr. Yes, and Commissioner Fagan. That is 11 in favor.
Thank you, and I will be sending in then the approval form to City Hall and they will follow up with you along next steps. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.
Wow, 7:05, I'm moving through 7:08. Hold on, I just fixed this, I'm sorry. Our next up application will be BZA 25-088 for 2240 Sullivan Avenue to legitimize existing site conditions.
Good evening. My name is Andy Vogel. I'm the architect who is helping this client. He's been there about 20 years. This work was done before he took over. Did not know that there were any zoning violations. But enforcement came out about a sign, a graphics thing, and then they realized that the dumpster that you can see there, which is properly screened, does not meet the current code because dumpsters are supposed to be behind the building. But in this case, he's a corner lot and the building is tucked all the way back in the corner. There's no other place to put it. So all we're doing is to just really allow the site to be as it is, and I've just redrawn it that way. We had actually come through here 2 years ago, but there were delays and the whole process got canceled, so we've restarted. The area commission at the time just asked us to put one shade tree along Clarendon, correct? There, which is on the plan. And the variances that we're asking for are basically the dumpster to remain where it is, and then to not add any screening landscaping between that and the alley and the residences, because nobody's parking over on the side anymore. So we really just want the property to be accepted as it is right now.
And the committee, after conversation, did vote to 4-0 in support of recommending this application. Do we have any questions or comments from commissioners?
I do remember this one. I think the other request was to paint the cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Cigarettes.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, another commissioner had requested that the cigarettes be painted. The safety poles.
The bottom.
You guys have
Again,
I was confused on that one.
oh, sorry, I didn't think it was that long ago, but that was the only other request that I do remember from 2 years ago was.
The
for sure the
safety
tree.
yellow.
Yeah,
Your typical safety yellow bollards. Yes, okay. I can add that to the drawing. You see.
And last week, the owner said that he was putting up new fencing behind the. Between the alley and the back of the building as well. Because a resident had talked about,
That's a different one.
oh, is it?
It is, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm looking.
Yeah, I-
That's the next
That's a different one.
Completely ignored me.
I missed that. So, okay. That's
Can't take me anywhere.
Any other questions from commissioners on this application?
Sorry.
Any questions or comments from community members? Seeing none, I'd like to recommend a motion that we approve zoning application BZA 25-088 for 2240 Sullivan Avenue.
second.
Okay, we will take the vote via roll call. I'll start here with Chair Bates. How do you vote?
Yes.
Moving along to Commissioner Fagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Carr,
Yes.
Commissioner Barkus.
Yes.
Commissioner Kaplan.
Yes.
Commissioner Mateen.
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Commissioner Amin. Commissioner Maddox.
Yes.
Commissioner Montana,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ardrezes.
Thank you very much, and I'll send in the approval form to city council, and they will follow up with you on next steps from their end. Great, thank you so much.
Did you like, remember something? No, no, you're good.
And our final application this evening is BZA 25-070 for 2725 West Broad Street. Or that should be Sullivan. I have the wrong address in there.
No, I also think it should be something. right?
Yes, this address should be Sullivan Avenue, something.
3861.
3861 Sullivan, yep. My apologies for everybody and those online who are looking at the official agenda. We had the misprint of the wrong address there. But yeah, so this is for the permanent location of a food truck.
It's our side of them. This is not my side.
So you said it's not just.
You have the whole, the pictures, the videos.
Will it not come out right here? This is not part of your property here?
It is, it's the other sides from the Hollywood side.
Yeah, look at the holly.
This is Sullivan side.
Yeah.
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 Gonna explain the project.
The projects for,
Well, just what you planned, what's the application for?
we filled the application for the taco stand to be zoning in our area here in our lot. We applied everything, but we need to be approved from the community to be approved to be on our lot.
Yeah, so this is an application to have. For those who are unaware, in Columbus, you cannot have a food truck permanently located at a property without community approval. We did have one community member who came and right before the applicant showed up, so they didn't miss each other, but he did say he was the community member who did show up, said he was supportive, expressed. And he always appreciated when the food truck was there and open and operating, because it definitely cut down on people loitering or, people who are up to no good when there's active business going on. He did encourage new fencing or some safety to go along the backside there, because somebody had backed up into it.
Yes.
And at our committee meeting, we learned that there is a plan already and pieces have been ordered.
The fence is fixed.
Yeah.
It's just we need to upgrade it.
Yeah.
Put a new fence. I'm just waiting on the guy. He's in South Carolina, coming back to put a new fence.
Okay. So new fencing is already being addressed. And then there is concern, obviously, along many areas, as we know, trash is always an issue. And right now, the existing dumpster for the food truck is under a separate contract. But down the road, there are plans to bring those into conformity to hopefully improve some of the trash disposal in the area.
Yes,
And say that correctly? Okay.
yes.
Questions or concerns from commissioners?
So is this the location that it will be located only, and that will be the only one, or will there also be one off Sullivan? 'Cause I've seen one in that spot a few
There
times.
is nothing, that's the only one we have in our parking lot. There is no other things on our lot. There is no other taco or any truck on our lot.
Okay, so nobody else will be allowed
Nobody
to park
else.
there. Right.
No. That's why we have this one and we applied for it to make it legally blueprint to stay on our lot.
I got you. I've seen one off of Sullivan in that
That was
spot before, so that was just,
Years back. That was probably 5 years ago.
I would assume it was somebody who probably didn't ask your permission is all. So that makes sense. I've seen it recently, so that's all. I just wanted to double check and make sure.
Yeah, I'm not aware of it, no.
Other questions from commissioners?
Just to clarify, is this the food truck that's on the other side of Sullivan next to Bella's Pizza?
No,
It's a
it
separate.
is on the Holly Hill.
Yep. I understand where it's at, but I mean, is that food truck moving over to your lot? Is that the question you were asking, Josh?
The one
Also-
on Sullivan Avenue, there's nothing over there. It's empty. The one we saw in the first,
I would disagree. At least recently, I have driven by there and seen one operating there. So they may be operating there without your permission, that's perfectly fine. People do that, but I have definitely driven by there.
On my lot, because, first thing, I cannot let anybody, stay on my lot because of the city code.
I'm not saying you're allowing it, I'm just saying people may be doing it. And you don't see them doing it potentially if you're not there or something, that's all I'm saying, I'm not saying that you're encouraging it or anything like that.
If anything over there, I take it serious. So. At this time, there's nothing over there, or before even. On the Sullivan side.
Well, you live over there, right? So you're driving by, you'd know.
I don't live there.
Oh,
I
I'm
have,
sorry.
I have
I'm terribly
I have a
sorry.
business there.
I'm sorry. I
uh,
thought you had said at our last meeting that you
Anything
lived in
on
Hollywood.
my lot has to stay. I don't approve it because of the city monitor.
I understand, there are people that break into houses, it's unapproved, for example.
Yes,
They don't want them in their houses, but people still do it. So that's what I'm saying, somebody could be parking on your lot and selling that you
There's
don't
one,
see unless you're there every day,
my
24/7.
neighbor has one.
That could be it.
Where
That
the
could-
muffler shop is next to it.
that
There's
could-
one
Right on your
not
line,
in my lot.
right on your line. So that's that, I've seen one right there, that's all I'm saying, so just double check it.
Yeah, Josh, if you go out to the page, what is it, page 2 of 9 of the application. And we can see the property lines.
Yeah, so it comes out right here to Sullivan.
Yeah, and then, so what I'm wondering is, you know, cause you got that other property just to the west of the you know.
That's what I was saying,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
there's one right here on cross street on the left side.
There's one that sits
Yeah,
here,
there's nothing here.
there's one that sits here
That's not
sometimes.
behind, the one down the street from me.
That, yes, there's definitely one down here.
Yes,
For sure,
yes,
right here, there's one that
yes,
sits here for sure
yes,
all the time.
yes.
There's also one that you may not be aware of,
On the right side.
that sits right here.
No.
We will agree to disagree.
I'm gonna drive by there, not have.
Did you discuss regular like people to see? I don't. Is there any other amenity there besides potential trash receptacle and the permanent truck, tables, chairs, anything that accommodates?
There is one table on the sidewalk and the truck. It's a private, out of the way, behind the truck. It's hidden.
Okay, thank you.
Additional questions from commissioners? I'll say again, we did have one community member who showed up, who expressed support for this application. Especially with the, improvements to the property that are in process. Any questions or comments from community members? Seeing none, I'd like to motion to approve, application BZA 25-070.
Second.
Okay, and we will do our third roll call here, starting with Chair Bates. Have you vote?
Yes.
And we'll go over to Mrs. Mateen. How do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, and then moving to Chair White.
No.
Commissioner Mead,
Yeah.
Commissioner Maddox,
Yes.
Commissioner Montana.
Yes.
I am a yes. Going over to Commissioner Fagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Carr,
No.
Commissioner Vargas,
Yes.
Commissioner Kepler
Yes.
is 9-2-0.
Thank you. I will send in the recommendation form to City Hall and they will follow up with you on next steps.
Thank you very
Great,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next zoning committee will be 9/24 here in this space, and I will say we almost have our full agenda already developed. Let me just switch my slides here. I can tell you all the properties we are looking at. For that, we'll once again be talking about 1100 Georgesville Green. And that project to convert that from being zoned commercial into being zoned for apartments, even though the land is currently wooded. Okay, we're also gonna be looking at 2720 Briggs. They're looking to rezone that property to construct 118 units of affordable assisted senior living. So 2 development projects. We're also gonna be looking at 393 Deer Road for continued use of a privacy fence. And the last application we currently have in is 267 Lechner Avenue to construct a 1-story single unit dwelling. That will be within 10 feet of the right of way line. So we have those 4 applications and a little bit more time, or we might add 1 more even to our time. And once again, at that meeting, we'll also continue to have conversation and make space to discuss any zone-in concerns or updates from community members. And that ends my report.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump towards the unfinished business, and then we'll move into new business, and then we'll get over to committee reports, just so that we have enough time for everything that's at the bottom of the agenda. Sorry, Chuck.
No, I just said bless you.
Oh, okay. All right, so unfinished business, November full commission meeting date. We were able to secure a room here at the library for November 11th. I need a motion to move the full commission meeting from its regularly scheduled program of the first Tuesday of the month to the second Tuesday of the month. Josh makes the motion. I get a second. You guys want to rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah.
I heard Danny for a second.
We need the dialogue.
We can only do so much.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a motion on the table to move the full commission meeting in November to the second Tuesday to the election, which would be November 11th. Motion by Josh, seconded by Fagan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any abstained? Any noes? All right, motion passes. Moving on to new business. New business, we need more door hangers. We're out of door hangers. I'll make the motion that we submit an order to the Columbus City Print Shop to order 1,000 door hangers. Again, these are at no cost to us. The city prints them for us. This is what they look like. Again, these are marketing materials used by Ashley and other groups in the Hilltop that go door to door, talk to our residents. Can I get a second?
Second it.
Seconded by Tana. Is there any discussion? Any questions about the door hangers? No, seeing none. All right, all those in favor of awarding 1,000 door hangers from the City of Columbus Print Shop, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion passes. All right, moving on, we have vacant seat by Keith Neal. This is a residential seat. His term expires in 2026. This is the first announcement of his vacant seat. We will be holding appointment next month for his said seat. They do need to be present in this room. Again, the process is a current commissioner has to nominate a current resident that lives in the Hilltop to fill this seat, and we will be appointing that person next month. Again, moving on, we have 3 vacant seats as we only received 1 completed petition from a resident for the next 3-year term block that we have, and I'd like to congratulate Joe Argero. So again, this is also 3 seats. They need to be residents. They need to be nominated by a current commissioner. Again, the process is the exact same as filling a vacant seat. So again, current commissioners, talk to your neighbors, talk to some friends that do need to live in the Hilltop. They do need to be present next month in order to be nominated. Again, it's 4 seats that we have to fill, and we will keep doing the announcement and appointment process until those seats are filled. 3. So 4.
Oh, yes, there was.
Keith and 3. Does anybody have any questions about that? Comments? Yes.
So for the 3 seats that are supposed to begin in 2026, we're appointing those next week or next month instead of at the December meeting?
Correct. So normally we would have an election in October if there were more than 4 running. But because they will be appointed either way, their term still just doesn't start till January. We are filling those vacant seats that are technically vacated in January.
Gotcha.
Correct, LBC? Or do we need to wait till January to fill those seats?
Updating your bylaws when you would need to do the appointment. But I don't know, I personally would wait, just to see if, you know, you could extend the deadline for packets if you wanted to. If you voted as a commission to do so, you want to encourage people to run as much as possible, but that's just a recommendation. You guys are welcome to proceed how you see fit.
Any more discussion? We could
make an announcement now for 1 appointment in October, 1 in November, 1 in December for term starting to spread it out. But I like the idea of giving us more time.
Right.
Until December. See if we can get 3, 4, well. Keith is different.
Yeah, he's next.
Yes, LBC.
Just note that if you want to have an election, you need to have it before November 1st. That is state of the art.
Yep.
If we, sorry.
Well, I just remember 3 or 4 months ago, or 2 months, whenever it was. We did give packets to 6 or 7 people. I mean, I don't know if I'm making a formal motion, I'd be willing to if people think it's the right way to go. But would it be worthwhile to reach out to those folks that took the packets and say, if you're interested in running, have your packets turned in by September 15th? So that we could then have the still do an October election, or maybe, you know,
Forward it to everyone. We can't just say,
Well, yeah, we open it up to everybody, but that's specific, you know, make it that outreach, because I'm wondering if some of them, you know, started getting their signatures and then went on vacation or, you know, got caught up with back to school time and oops, oh well.
Yeah, I don't know if the deadline was. I don't know if it was the biggest issue or concern, but I'm in favor of tabling the appointment process until November. Just trying to have an election within the next, it'd be under 30 days, because then we'd have to push it to the middle of October, because we have to announce the election 30 days in advance. But I have no problem reaching back out to anybody in the community who wants to be a commissioner. They're more than welcome to go through the appointment process. The only difference is you'd have to reach out to a commissioner. You'd have to be nominated. The full commission would vote. And we have 4 seats to fill and then a 5th in January as the appointment seat.
Right.
So there's enough seats for the 6 people who took packets to run for the 5.
Well, would I have to go and get signatures again? And
No, you've already completed the process unopposed. What I'm saying is there's 4 empty seats and then a 5th one in January. So we can table the appointment process till November, December, or January. It's just we need to make a conscious decision either tonight or next month to do so. Carla?
Yeah, I don't think we can extend our petition date because that would be unfair to Joe, who has completed his and put it in, to then have to be in an election when the election deadline already passed, or the petition deadline.
Yeah.
Just my opinion on it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make the motion to table the appointment process. Until November. We'll kind of collectively have the discussion in government legislation if anybody has any more thoughts or opinions on how to move forward. But next month we will be attempting to appoint somebody to fill Keith Neal's seat.
So you're motioning to table it until November, so do we have a second?
I can second.
I think that makes sense too, so that gives people a chance to come to meetings.
Then also too, we could always push it back again until January. So we don't have to do it in November. We can have the discussion in the next 2 months, excuse me, if that's what we want to do.
I'd rather get the people starting in January appointed in November or December.
Okay, there's motion, it was seconded. Joe, do you want to do a roll call or do you want to do a voice vote?
It's up to you, Chair.
Any more discussion on the map? Yes,
Quick
Commissioner
question.
Baker.
So will somebody need to be at October's full commission meeting saying they were interested in being appointed to be considered in November? Or do you just need to be here in November?
I believe it's just they need to be present at on the November meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I'll encourage them to come to both.
Correct. We highly encourage them to do both.
So if you're
Strongly
elected, you're gonna
recommend
have to come to
Have to
all.
show up in November.
You'll be here anyway, right?
Any more discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Anybody abstaining? Motion passes. All right, bylaw changes, updates. I do have printed versions of both that's on the agenda tonight. I'm gonna turn it over to Joe so you can roll through the first one.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Today I'm bringing forth a proposal to edit our bylaws in Article 1H. This is the first reading of this proposed change. It impacts 2 items. The first is the order of the process for identifying and communicating commissioner vacancies. Basically takes a sub item and moves it up where it makes more actual logical procedural sense. It's the first notice of absence, which is effectively a warning, which then would be followed by, it's all the small text that's at the bottom, which would be followed by what happens then if you hit the next absence. So it's reordering the process so it's clearer for future secretaries, in my opinion, and in practical use. The second part is the bigger issue, which is why I'm interested in hearing from this commission and bringing this forward for a first reading, is I'm proposing to reduce the number of absences from 3 to 2 for that initial warning, and then from 4 to 3 for what is considered a commission resignation. In my working with the commission and with community, there's a critical need for us to continue to be present and hear and voting on issues that matter. And it's an attempt to basically bring the rigor up a little bit. I do know that there are some times where people, are missing for various reasons, and so I would want to have that discussion. But yeah, it would be 2 would be an initial that get that warning state, and then 3, you'd have to miss 3 instead of 4 still in the 11 full commission meetings for the resignation status. And then the petition process still stays the same. You can still petition and you could still be voted back on by the commission. And these notes are just defining all of that. Okay. I know, Jenny, I see you, so.
Yeah. See you too, Joe. May I have a microphone?
Sure.
Thank you. So, did you turn it on?
Yeah.
So with all due respect, because I know every time you do bylaw changes like this, it's annoying and you have to do all kinds of work to change, to do all this, and I respect that. However, I do want to just point out that just seconds ago, we were discussing how we didn't have enough interested commissioners to start an election for the next year. And so I just want to put a bug in everyone's ear about this particular bylaw, or the discussion about attendance has been one that has happened numerous times over many, many years. And this is part of the delicate balance of being a commissioner and having a commission, right? We're all volunteers. And for a variety of different reasons, I feel like if you're gonna change the attendance bylaw, it should be to something that is a lot more flexible and that somehow answers that specific, that allows the members of the commission to address specific circumstances. Because I think there are times when it is absolutely warranted to for the commission to bounce somebody from the commission for attendance. You know, if they are obviously, like in the one example I have is that we had a commissioner about 14, 15 years ago who solely was on the commission. You know, so they had an extra, you know, line on their political resume as for their service, but they only showed up for maybe 3 meetings. And this person was also serving as vice chair, which is hilarious to me. But at the time, you know, the chair wanted that guy to stick around, and the rest of the commission quietly wanted to bounce him. Now, there are other instances, however, where somebody's gonna miss a bunch of meetings. Maybe they're taking care of a sick loved one. They don't know, like they can't warn you ahead of time that they're gonna miss 92 meetings or whatever. I just think that if this bylaw has been updated more than once. And it's always after like a series of different instances, and they're like, well, we're gonna fix it this time. But I don't think that a bylaw change to address that particular instance every time is helpful. I mean, and again, like, I adore you, Joe, and respect your time and efforts, but I just think that there has to be another way to address specific attendance issues in that moment instead of creating a new bylaw every time.
I think, thank you for your input and comment. It's valid, especially this is my second term on the commission. The attendance has been an issue every single year for the past 6 years. But I do feel like we have no formal process to excuse absences other than what's in this document. And I want to thank Joe for working on this, because as secretary, it can't be confusing and sometimes hard to say, hey, Jenny, you missed 3. Do you want to stay here doing this, or do you not want to participate at all anymore? And the process in here is you need to formally request your absences be excused so you can stay. So if we try to create something else to where you as an individual come to me as chair and I excuse every single one of your absences, but not Dan's, then we're getting into a weird gray area of people can bend the rules and never show up, but then still be a commissioner.
So what if it's a sensitive personal issue that you don't necessarily want aired out publicly in a commission meeting?
Yeah. Then again, it still would go through the formal process. That just needs to be a discussion between how that individual wants to handle it, because if they would rather remove themselves from the commission than air out what is going on, that is a personal decision amongst themselves. But again, the first reading isn't to have a formal discussion of it, of the bylaw change. It's more or less to put on notice, this is what the government legislation committee has recommended to change to improve an issue that was brought up by Joe. So we can keep having this discussion, but it needs to happen in government and legislation so we can have the full debate instead of taking up all their time from the agenda that we need to get through.
But I noticed that the public is here now, and so I mean, that's lovely and all. I'm not on that committee, and you can't have most of the commission there in your committee meetings to discuss this, because otherwise we would have full commission meeting quorum, and that's bad too. So I'm bringing this up now, and I think, or I mentioned this to you now, and I will discuss it now. In my experience, and remember, this is my second time around being a commissioner. I was one, a million years ago. I came to realize that bylaw changes really need to be a last resort. And they don't, I feel like now in this time around that I've been on, this is my second term, I feel like every year, somebody feels like they have to make a bylaw change every time, when really we can address a lot of this stuff interpersonally by directly communicating with people, by going about it in a lot of different ways besides changing bylaws. And that's no criticism of either of you, you know.
No, I hear you.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's, that comment's totally valid, but at the same time too. We need to see, because again, this was brought up because of the discussion we've had to address an issue that was brought up, but if we're gonna go a different route. I wanna see something on paper that kind of lays out that roadmap. Otherwise, we're just having the discussion to have a discussion to just throw something else back in the trash.
Chair,
Yes.
so just on this point, then I know we need to move on. This is just the first reading, and I did actually say that I want to hear from commissioners because I do know that this can be a delicate subject. It's fully legitimate concern is that we just already struggle with elections and getting people attracted to serve. And so tightening something like this would potentially make it harder for more people. So I hear you there. The other thing is we only had a vague type of, there was no clause in the original about any sort of commission or like excused, quote unquote, excused absences. Under 2, all or a portion of the absences may be excused and the member in question shall return to good standing, which we discussed in when we had these last vacancies that came up and that individual just decided just to resign. But I added something. I bolstered that because, and maybe the Article 1H needs to stay the same. The process, I think the order should be changed, but we don't actually have a process for excusing absences other than the commission may elect to excuse some.
Well, maybe this can be a best practices kind of subject instead, like. I mean, really, if anybody's missing meetings, they should be communicating that to somebody.
We usually just,
Everybody who was absent tonight notified me, but I have no authority to excuse them based on our bylaws.
You're our chair.
They need to be excused, but we all need to vote on them to excuse them. I've already got clarification that I have no authority to excuse someone's absence when we have in writing the process for it.
yeah, 2 is if the commission accepts a petition by a majority vote for an individual to be reinstated after 4. Then all or a portion of the absences may be excused and the member in question, but that portion isn't really described much in the process.
Then maybe there needs to be something that clarifies what authority you have instead of.
Sure.
Instead of
So then that removes the authority that you also have, because if you give me more authority, you essentially lose authority yourself. When
You have authority to appoint, you have authority to about override whether or not somebody can speak in front, speak to the media, like you have tons of like. I mean, that's what I'm saying is maybe we're looking at this from, because I'm not joking, like, and again, Joe, I can't overstate how much I appreciate all the work you do. But this bylaw has been changed numerous times. And it's never going to fix, everything about each situation, and down the line. Somebody will find another reason to change it, and so it's like, why don't we consider other options that are more flexible and more inclusive of different circumstances, is all I'm saying.
Well, we'll be back at government legislation and later this month, and we'll talk about it then. I know you're not on that committee, but thank you for sharing. And if you think of anything else too. Awesome.
Yes.
BC, can I ask a general best practice of what do the other commissions do, like the 3109, because I know our bylaws are separate than the city recommended. Do you know the process for other commissions that adopt it, like the universal bylaws?
Yeah, actually, in those bylaws, there is no process for excusing absences as well. It's based off of the number of absences are considered resignation unless they write an appeal to chair. And at that point, it's brought before the commission.
Is it the same number? Or I guess we can check that.
Yeah, I'd have to check.
Okay. We'll have to know.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, moving on to the next one, it's gonna be committee realignment or restructuring. Again, if anybody wants a paper version, I have it. Everybody was also sent the PowerPoint slide that I created. Again, this has come, more or less from myself out of committee in regards to the overall number of committees that we have and trying to restructure, reduce those, going from, essentially 9 committees down to 5. Again, biggest thing is we're gonna be binding committees and then ultimately, layering a layer of public safety into the 5 committees that remain. Again, this just changes, the section for our committees and our bylaws, to what you see here above on the screen. Again, the committees in red, are gonna get combined / absolved into the remaining 5. And then we're also gonna add a paragraph as it relates to public safety, because there was a lot of concern and comment from commissioners in the community that by eliminating public safety, we're essentially saying we don't care about public safety anymore. But again, we created a formal process that's outlined here in these documents that I have that'll exist outside of our bylaws, so we can always change these at will, whether commissioners want to do so. But again, we're gonna this new section, all public safety issues brought before the commission, its committees or individual commissioners shall be referred to the official public safety intake process as established by the commission. The intake process shall serve as a standard method of documenting, routing, and assigning such issues to the appropriate committee or committees for action. The details in the intake process, including forms, procedures, and routing criteria, may be adopted, amended, or updated by the commission without amendment to these bylaws. And again, everybody was sent the PowerPoint presentation along with the attached forms that kind of documents how that process would go. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, who sets up the intake process?
So again, then we can also establish a separate liaison for public safety that could handle those. And that's something that would exist inside the outside document from the bylaw changes. So again, we could essentially, like I said, still appoint somebody to process all of the intakes. But again, it would work just like a live form or on our website. So residents could submit public safety issues and concerns. All of us as commissioners would essentially have access to a live document or be able to see those as they get submitted. Again, the chairs are responsible for reviewing those as they come in to get those assigned to the appropriate committees. And also the process outlines, we can set up a secondary chair as well that can be assigned to the public safety issue or concern that comes in. So that way it's getting routed and addressed within like the first 48 hours of receiving it. And then the process also kind of establishes follow-up, some follow-through, and some kind of underlining reporting method to make sure that it's actually getting addressed. Commissioner Bates?
Yeah, I mean, to that question, I see you just have a natural point person for that intake process. I would see as the vice chair potentially. I know for the many boards that I've served on over the years, I always like being vice chair of things because there's always a very poorly described responsibility thing. So I'm like, hey, I get power without having to do any work. So yeah, I'm taking ownership myself of trying to put. So I could see that as a very natural spot, and not, doesn't have to be, but kind of as a default, unless the chair assigns it out somewhere else.
Again, the bylaw changes are separate
Right.
from the process and procedure that we would ultimately agree on to process the public safety concerns.
You have to kind of think about that.
Yeah, well, we can outside of the bylaw changes because we can't.
Change one and then say, well, we'll work that out later. I think, what about, so what would be the levels of discretion for people? So if they have a public safety issue.
I just turned it on.
If there's a public safety issue, if they're filling out an intake form that's getting passed around the commission. well, from what I see in the community, there's a lot of times people are afraid to put their names on stuff. To be the person who identifies the neighbor's drug house, to identify, so I just wonder, like, so how does that all kind of go into some sort of document process for anyone to access if there's discretion involved? No, zero discretion, I guess.
Yeah, we can also have a printed version of the form, and if somebody wants to drop that off at either a commissioner's residence, or say somebody wants to bring you a concern, but they don't want their name on it, you're more than welcome to take that form that they fill out and then resubmit it to either the vice chair or wherever we're pointing as like the direct contact person to process these. And then that way, that person remains anonymous. We can also create an online form that people can fill out where they can click an anonymous option and not provide us their name or their email address. They could just submit the form itself to the commission. There are multiple avenues that we can go about receiving complaints and issues from residents where we don't have to associate that that's coming from them directly. Yes, Olivia.
Like I said, this is just a suggestion. So for example, the Commissioner Carr, the example that you brought up. I wouldn't necessarily see that as a commission issue to address. So I'm wondering if it might be useful to create almost like a tree, a decision tree. To know when it would be best to refer it to a city official like myself, Officer Cody, versus like handling it as a commission and focusing more on like root cause issues. I'm wondering if that might be more useful of the commission's resources. Because, at the end of the day, really, like if you receive like complaints like, prostitution, drug use, things like that, it's gonna end up being routed to the city anyway. So I'm wondering if it might be best not to even bring it to committee necessarily, except maybe as anecdotal information saying, hey, just to let you know, we've been receiving a lot of information on X, Y, Z, but refer it to the officials that handle it. But like I said, that's just a suggestion.
Outside of the public safety issues, does anybody have any comments about the committee restructuring? So when we're talking about combining committees, does anybody have any questions about that or any concerns? So we're going from like the 9 to the 5 with the emphasis that the 5 are going to focus on a public safety component within their committees.
This is a small thing. I do really like the fact that you changed it from liquor permits to just permit review to go with zoning. And that we now have marijuana applications that are gonna be coming through it. I think that creates some better clarity than our current process.
Not to sound like a broken record or anything, but, so my only, I don't wanna say concern, and it's just something to keep in mind. Is that, first of all, I totally get why you're doing this, cause going to lots of meetings every week, Lord knows, the last thing any of us wants is to head into 2 and 3 hour meetings after a full day of work. I completely get it. And it's easy, and the burnout is real, right? But one, I have concern about doing this. It's September, we're in the 9th month out of 12, making this decision. We're hopefully gonna get new commissioners in the next year. They may have, they're the ones who are gonna have to carry this stuff out. So. I feel like I'm taking a dump all over your hard work, and that's not what I'm attempting to do. But I want to put a bug in your ear again about why is it important to do this right now? Before any new commissioners join? And who are you assuming will be carrying out this process that you have in the back? And then none of this is bad, like none of this is a bad idea. I just think that the timing of it and the implementing it, the
planned implementation of all of this may not go the way you want it to. Just, like it may not all jive together. So that's my only comment there.
Yeah, so like the 5 wouldn't take full effect until January of 26. So essentially the bylaws would change, so update, but then the implementation of everything in here wouldn't take effect until January. So then we would have the next 3 months to finalize the process, create the forms, the documents, update the website, and then fine tune, okay, the vice chair is gonna be responsible for all the intake, because that exists outside of the bylaw changes. Whereas the bylaw changes is just reducing the number of committees. And saying, hey, there is a formal process for public safety issues that need to be routed. Whether this gets implemented or not is totally up to the people who fill these seats after me.
So you're
And
gonna,
if they don't wanna do that, then you don't wanna do it.
For
But
someone
you
else.
guys vote, we all vote on this.
I know.
If nobody wants to do this, then that's totally up to all of us. But this is what I worked on, this is what we've had 3 months of committee meeting discussions about. I mean, this is what came of those discussions.
Sure.
I'm sorry it took this long to get here, but at the end of the day. Here's what made it to the paper, here's what made it in front of all of us. If none of us like it, just vote no. I mean, it's that black and white.
And I'm not trying to make you upset by.
All mine, no one's
Just-
upset, it's just,
But I'm just saying it's.
we can just stay up all night, but I do want to get to Dan because he did
Oh,
raise his hand
Dan.
and had a question.
Just a comment, this is, I think, what we're supposed to do, right, would say to our peers, I think leaving the committee structure the way it is fine. The committees that you get assigned to don't necessarily have to meet on a monthly basis. I think they need committees and the chairs need to think about what they want to accomplish. And if the Public Safety Committee would sit there and stay, and some of the other committees, and it gives us an opportunity to have the chair or the full commission assign work to a committee, then it starts to activate. And maybe in one 12-month period, there's only one public forum or one public meeting that gets brought together for people to provide input for. That's enough, right? And then I think if we are the committee, the 3 are on the committee, then we activate and we put a lot of work and effort into that. And if that's not the goal or not happening, then we meet 3 times in the 12-month period as a committee. Like, we could decide that as a committee, and it doesn't require that you have to go to a meeting every single month, right? I think the topics, if you scroll back up, public safety, planning and economic development, these would be the ones. Human services and education. There may be times that we would want to say this committee really could do some work and really start to rally public input. I think there's a reason they should just stay there. Just my comment for my peers.
And I will add to that, we're not getting rid of the 8 that we have, they're just being folded into other committees. To reduce the overall number, so if you wanted to attend all 8, you can now attend all 5.
Understood.
If they are meeting every single month.
And I
You'd
do
be
think,
still assigned to 3. And with the emphasis that you'd still only, that's 6 meetings a month, full commission to
understood.
5.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Yeah, your
backbone of the
efficiency.
restructuring is to combine the ones that community relation and government legislation are already meeting together and have been for 3 years. If we leave, the structure stays the same it is now, we could still potentially have 8 committee meetings every single month. And only 3 people are assigned to those, and it just chips away at the overall attendance in committee meetings. Yes, always.
Sorry, like I said, this is just a recommendation, this is just my thoughts. Is finance focused on the finance of the commission?
Yes, and it overlaps in planning economic development when their big ticket item is talking about capital improvements within the neighborhood. But the finance for that committee is going to be the bulk of the commission finance as well, because that's an ad hoc meeting now, so essentially it's planning, economic development, ad hoc finance, but also with an emphasis that they're the ones now handling the capital improvement, which they've already been doing for the past 2 to 3 years.
Committee chairs. All.
Yeah, I feel like a slight edit that I would request, and I think like when we do vote on this, I think we should vote on them by committee. But I think like community engagement and legislative affairs is too long. I would just say community and government relations. Is that just, I don't know, it's a lot. I also hate writing the word legislative. It's hard to spell.
In 20 years, we're gonna be saying here, well, why does it say that? Because Ashley didn't like saying legislative.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like spelling. But I don't know, I just think it makes more sense, like it's more cohesive of like, this is how we engage the community and this is how we like set order within the government part of it. I also think government and finance could be combined, because when you look at like a board nonprofit, that is typically the way they do it, is like they have a governance committee, which would be like the chair, so it'd be chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary, which would also be the ones who would be serving on the finance committee. But I see how it also makes sense that our planning and economic development giving the CIP.
Any other questions? Yes.
I just have one last comment that, zoning, I've been sitting on the zoning committee for whatever, 9 months, and, trash is not a zoning issue. And all the surveys I've ever seen in the community, number 1 is public safety, number 2 is trash. And so putting trash, I think, under zoning is gonna be tough.
Well, but I mean, to be fair, trash is actually a 311 issue. And 2, when we did handle trash, we handled it under public safety,
Right.
not under zoning.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But if under his new thing, that could be done under human services and that, or
It
whatever the
It would
version,
depend where it is.
It's the human services side of things.
yeah.
Yeah, it would depend where it is.
We never really defined where refuse. Or
It's
housing.
currently under public safety.
I think it would depend where it
And
is.
trash.
Like if the trash
But
is
it's fine.
at a school or if it's at a park, it would be in those committees. If it's a more broader thing, it could be in zoning or planning.
But again, that's all language that could exist on outside of the bylaws on like which committee wants to handle those specific issues. It's just when we're talking people, place and home in the structure of the Vision Hilltop plan, like that's where it gets assigned. It's like it is considered a zoning issue when we're trying to keep people in compliance and send them through the 311 process. But again, however we choose to tackle the public safety issues and pigeonhole them into the 5 or the new 5 committee meetings can exist amongst a collective agreement outside of the bylaw changes. It's just changing the bylaws to set it up in this new structure is what needs to happen and what we would be officially voting on, which is everything above the red line. And again, this is just the first reading. We're more than happy to continue to have the discussion and government legislation. Again, it's up to us to vote yes or no on it next month. And if it votes no, it still exists in a form that could be picked up at a later date. All right, moving on.
I would just encourage everybody to look at our new website and look at the Public Safety Committee's description of what its purpose is. I think it's just a good reminder. Thank you.
Thanks. And moving on to committee reports, I'm gonna turn it over to co-chair Josh Maddox and Ashley Montana for community relations.
All right, so we met on the 26th. Here, we mainly discussed the website migration, some updates that we're gonna make. Some little quirks here and there, trying to clean it up and make it as close to the previous website as possible. Adding in some different things like, maybe a link to the Get Spirit. There's something, trying to create more information on there and more usability on the website. Discuss the need for more door hangers, which we voted on earlier. And we'll be meeting again on the 23rd of September, 7 p.m. here at the Hilltop Library.
Thanks. Up next, government and legislation. This is what we've been working on for the past 3 months. Again, anybody has any more questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to just reach out to me directly so we can have a conversation or attend the meeting. We're also going to be meeting September 23rd. Finally, we are not going to have an election this year. We have 1 application submitted. So again, congratulations to Joe Argero. Highly encourage everybody to reach out to neighbors, friends, anybody who may want to participate in being a commissioner. We've got the seats open and available. Again, next meeting is going to be here at the library, September 23rd. Turn it over to Commissioner Argero, Human Services.
Quick items. We also did meet in August. I presented the Highland Elementary and West Broad Elementary traffic infrastructure reviews that I've been working on. And I am preparing to share those with city officials, basically looking to see where arrival and dismissal are happening, what kind of traffic infrastructure is around for safe streets around schools. And then we'll be looping those into our capital improvement and other things moving forward. I have a bunch more schools to get to, so we'll have more information on that later this year. And then Brandon and I attended the Columbus City Schools Back to School Fair on the 16th. So I just want to thank you for sitting in the sun with me on a really hot midday. But those are the main things right now. We'll have more in committee, which meets again on September 17th at 6 o'clock, also here at the library.
All right, moving on to liquor permit review, Commissioner Fagan.
The committee did not meet in July and didn't meet in August either. I did not cancel the meeting. I do apologize for that. It was supposed to be immediately following the zoning committee. I wasn't in town that evening, but didn't neglect to cancel it. So from what I understand, there wasn't anybody that showed up for the committee meeting, is what I was told, but I just wanted to be transparent about that. So our next committee meeting is going to be on September 24th, following the zoning committee, which is at 6:30. So when that's finished, then we'll start the liquor permit review.
You're good. Thanks. Planning Economic Development, co-chair Ashley Montana.
We did not meet in August due to the recess. Our September meeting, we're planning to have a guest from the Columbus Planning Department to discuss sidewalk planning. If you have any questions about that, talk with Commissioner Smith. I will be unable to attend because I'll be at a conference, but our meeting is on the 18th at 6 p.m. Here at the library.
Public Safety co-chair Fagan or co-chair Carn.
Same thing.
Yeah, we didn't meet in August as well due to the recess. We only meet every other month, which will be meeting September 17th here at the library, 6:30. And we do have a guest coming in from Franklin County. It's a safe routes to school discussion. She's wanting to host a town hall, so I invite you all to join us that night.
Last but not least, Recreation and Parks. I was unable to attend Wrexham, right?
I think Wrexham is coming up next.
Yeah.
And
where were we at in August? Sorry, I did not attend.
Yeah, we were at
Westmore.
Westmore, thank you.
This month we will be at Wrexham Park. Again, that's going to be a Saturday, September 20th, 9 a.m. We'll be doing our biannual audit as well as picking up trash. I encourage anybody who wants to attend. We're going to be meeting in the park. Looks forward to seeing everybody there. And that is the end of our agenda. Does any commissioners have anything else?
I'll make a brief announcement. I forgot to share this. The Hilltop Franklinton softball game is coming up and it will be before our next meeting. It is on Saturday, October 4th. Voting is still open for the charities. You can vote for your favorite Hilltop charity. I believe that there are 4 or 5 to pick from. And if anyone would like to play, please reach out to Councilmember Green, or if you contact me, I can connect you with her. But they're looking for players to support Team Hilltop, so hopefully we can get the trophy this year, but it will be Saturday, October 4th at 10 a.m. at the Gladden Sports Complex. Sorry, I forgot to tell them.
Have you recruited any ringers?
I'm not quite sure. I am not planning to play because I
okay.
am not athletic in that way, but
You guys already on one?
if you feel so called, please do.
Yeah.
Any other announcements from commissioners? Oh, yes, Dustin.
Sorry, Madam Commissioner. I forgot to mention that October 22nd is the West Side Council Community Meeting. So just mark it on your calendars. It'll be October 22nd in the evening, I believe, from like 6 to 7:30. And that's when the council members kind of like, as many as we can gather, will show up, as well as their department, and go up to them and talk to them or talk to the departments.
Time location again, please.
Location TBD, but I'm hoping for a school farther west. And then it's from 6 to 7:30.
Mr. Kepler?
Old BC or Hoseline, do you have the information about the neighborhood best practices
Yes,
Yeah.
so
thing?
I did not mention it because registration is closed for it. But it is Saturday, September 20th from 9 to 12:30. So if you've already registered, have that on your calendar. If you didn't register, I'm sorry, registration is closed.
Did any of you register?
I did, but I might be able to transfer mine, if that's okay.
I registered.
There you go.
But I'd like to write.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Can we please adjourn the meeting?
Seconded. All those in favor, say aye.